Hi, I'm Father Scott Vanderveer, and I'd like to chat with you for a moment about the value of setting goals. Do you ever set goals for yourself? For a lot of us, it's something we do at the beginning of the year with an intention or a New Year's resolution. And then we sometimes forget what it was that we were intending. We forget what we resolved to do or to not do. So I have been persuaded with the help of my management coach, which has been a great gift to me to have a professional coach help me in the work that I do as the pastor of two parishes and the manager of a budget that's almost $1 million between the two of them. And all of the things that come with leadership, managing staff and volunteers, strategizing for the future, responding creatively to challenges and to threats to the organization. And I found that over the past year or two, I have been feeling nervous about the future. I've been feeling, as I look at the number of priests that we have in our area, that the number of priests is going down, down, down. And the day is soon coming when I will be asked to do more than I can do as a priest. I'm not sharing this with you because I think the topic is so interesting, but because it was what I was dealing with. I already have two parishes, so I was assuming that it won't be long before I have 3 or 4. And that's not an irrational assumption. You know, we're looking at restructuring in the church just the way businesses are restructuring. And if any of you have ever experienced layoffs or cutbacks to personnel and then realized that the goal at your company or business or organization was to do more with less, then you know that feeling. It's the feeling of scarcity. And so I realized that what I most need right now is to stop borrowing trouble from the future, to stop assuming that the worst case scenario is what is inevitable. I need to stop believing that if I am asked to take on more than just my 2 parishes, if I'm asked to add more than that I will not have the help that I need, that I won't have the spiritual strength from God or the resources from good people who will want to be there to assist me. I have to stop doubting that my coach won't be able to help or that I won't be given the tools and the strength that I need to go forward. I realized that I was starting to dread the future, and I need to not do that. So I set a goal for this year, an intention of how I wanted to feel. I wanted to shed the dread. So I wanted to share with you how I did my goals because it's a great gift that my coach has given me. And I'd like to have you take a look at this goal wheel so you can see that what I did was I started by deciding that I needed to shed the dread as my annual intention. And then in each of these areas of my life, I wanted to set an intention that serves the intention of shedding the dread. So in my personal and spiritual growth, I needed to set an intention that leads me to shed the dread. In my health, in my business work as the leader of 2 parishes, in my own financial life, with my significant other, which in my case is God. How about with family and friends? Change maker experiences. What are those things that I could always put off for another day or for next year, but actually need to be tended to now? Opportunities that I could take here and now. And how about for my living environment, how I want to feel? So what I did is start to set some intentions for each of those areas. So how do I want to feel about my health? If I want to shed the dread, I want to feel vitality. How do I want to feel about my personal and spiritual growth? I want to make that my priority. How do I want to be in my environment? I want to keep innovating so that my apartment feels renewing, where I live in the rectory over the offices at St. Mary's in Coxsackie. When I think about things I can do to create change that I could always put off till tomorrow, but I want to do here and now, I think of dreaming freely. When I think of my family and friends, I want to treasure them. When I think of my relationship with God, this word I really liked, I want to feel ecstasy. And when I think about my relationship with money, I'd like to feel freedom so that I'm not thinking about that all the time. And when I think about what I'd like to do as a leader this year, I want to be like a hybrid car, one that can switch between gas and electricity whenever it needs to. I want to do that in my ministry in person and virtually, like this. These messages and the podcasts and the homilies online, they have connected so many people to the message of our parish and to the gospel this past year. I don't want to give that up, but it's getting challenging now that I'm considering all of these returns to normalcy with more and more people coming to church. And then, of course, there was my original intention, my worry about the future, the thing I needed to shed the dread over. So I think shedding the dread is a very valuable goal for 2021 for me. How can I not worry about how COVID is going to change the world? How can I not worry about all of the things that are beyond my control? How can I let go of assuming that my future is going to be harder when I actually have no way to know what God is cooking up? So my coach, as a gift to me, got me this little wrist medallion that says, "Shed the dread." And that's what I'm working on for 2021. It's quite a goal, isn't it? Spiritually enriching, challenging, something that I can work on every day in little ways, in all those ways I just talked about from my goal wheel. What could you consider doing this year to help you with the feelings that you're dealing with? What is your deepest intention for 2021? And then what are the intentions that serve that deep intention? It's a good question for each of us, something that each of us can spend some time praying about and thinking about. Whatever your intention is, I hope that you will ask God to walk with you on the journey toward that. And I hope that you will see all these moments of hope and possibility springing up all around us as we enter this new and hopeful season. Happy Easter, and God bless you all.